This is nothing, Uncle. I've run the numbers. 2 days, maybe less. And your office is at the bottom of a sinkhole.
At least your expensive education has finally amounted to something.
Told you I'd repay that loan. Bet you're wishing you'd listened to me sooner. Not dismissed me as a loudmouth conservationist.
Master Jedi, Lemda told me of your incredible rescue. Words cannot convey my thanks. We suspected McKeb was becoming unstable, but I had no idea things were this bad. We never should have let the Hutt Cartel establish their mining operation.
I didn't realize the cartel set up shop on your world before the takeover.
We negotiated mining contracts with them a decade ago. They gave our economy a tremendous boost.
I've been yelling about that boost for years. Moving on. The regulators who held me hostage were a chatty bunch. Mostly filthy language and bragging about their blasters, but the leader said something interesting. He mentioned Project Failsafe, a Hutt emergency plan if their mining went wrong. That mercenary believed the Hutts have something to instantly stabilize McKeb.
The cartel wouldn't have a failsafe if they didn't plan on pushing McKeb to the brink of destruction. We can't allow that.
Glad you feel that way, because you need to steal it, assuming we can find it.
Talaos City, the Hutt Embassy database.
Ilosov's right. Data on Project Failsafe would be stored in the Hutt Embassy's computers in Talaos City. Unfortunately, that's under cartel control. We need Chief Hurkwill, Talaos City's former security commander. He and a few loyal men have a hidden camp outside the city. They'll get you inside the city and the embassy.
Why is he hiding outside the city? Did he get fired as security commander?
In a manner of speaking. The Hutts put a death mark on his head. The Hutts control Talaos City and the surrounding area. They'll have to land a shuttle in the countryside. Expect plenty of regulators. Chief Hurkwill's camp is hidden at these coordinates.
Don't die. You're all we've got.
Chief Hurkwill, Shalim Avesta sent us. He says you know a way into the Hutt Embassy.
A real live Jedi Master. Now we're talking. Pardon the stink. Haven't been near a shower in days. Hutt Embassy's locked up tight. Used to have a fancy-pants bureaucrat helping us inside, Representative Ecklin, but he's gone quiet. Probably dead. Good news is, the cartel hasn't changed anything at their embassy. Got the same turrets, droids, passcodes I set up for them. Lazy Hutts.
Why does the Hutt Cartel have an embassy on McKeb? Much less one that well guarded.
The Business Council built it when the Hutts first came to do business here. Thought it would make the slugs feel appreciated. You want inside the Hutt Embassy, you'll have to finesse 3 layers of security. First layer is heavy turrets in the courtyard. The only good thing to come out of these groundquakes is that they expose the turret power generators. Overload those, and turrets lose their punch.
I doubt the Hutts left those generators unguarded. How hard will it be to reach them?
City's under curfew. Streets are crawling with Hutt-loyal regulators. Security Layer 2 is the embassy's main door. 3 meters of reinforced durasteel. Even a lightsaber would take hours to cut through. But the door will unlock for a diplomatic passcode. You can generate one by accessing the government building secure terminal.
Get inside the government building, slice the secure terminal for a passcode, and get out. Next?
Last but not least are the security droids. Top-of-the-line Arcanian models. Nasty disposition. Shoot intruders on sight. Good news is they can be reprogrammed. The droid control station in my old security HQ will do the trick.
After jumping through those first 2 hoops, I'll prefer to crush a droid army the old-fashioned way.
Not saying you couldn't, but probably not before everyone in the embassy got hustled to evac shuttles and the data banks with them. Hit those objectives and I guarantee you'll get inside the embassy. Whether you'll find your answers is a different matter. If Representative Ecklin's still alive, maybe help him escape? He's a fuss budget, but basically all right. I'll keep a comm channel open when I can.
Sir, I've asked Chief Hurkwill 3 times. They can't spare anyone. Will you please come back now?
Nah, it's practically cozy out here. So Hurkwill's men aren't an option. There's gotta be someone else back there with you. Use your eyes, Cash. There's a Jedi right there, Master Jedi. Can we have a minute? Cash Zarrin, Logistics Specialist Tefani. We're with the Protectors, Republic Med Corps, 2nd Battalion. Official evacuation forces for frightened civilians everywhere.
I assume you didn't come up with that title yourselves?
Nah, some orphan kids from Corellia started it. Just kinda stuck after that. Big seismic event coming up. We're talking big enough to devour Talaos City. Gotta get those people out now if we're gonna beat the clock. Problem is, Talaos City's on lockdown. The Hutts have turned all the keys and put the regulators on street patrol. I think one of them's eyeing me now.
So you need someone to take on the regulators while the protectors escape.
The regulators aren't a problem for me. They're a problem for our evac. They're sitting guard on some buildings at the corner of Groundquake and Epicenter. If the quake hits while the buildings are still full, well, it'll definitely lower the property values. We need the mercs out of our way so we can evacuate.
Just point me towards the buildings and those mercs will be history.
I'll transmit you coordinates soon as the seismic scan is done. Uh-oh. Better hang on to something. That was a warning, and we're not getting another. Cash, get the speeders ready. Our reinforcements will clear the mercs and get inside the buildings. Once you're in, hit the emergency alarm. The civs will run out, the speeders will pick them up, and we'll all meet back here to shake hands. Sound good?
I can see why the protectors made you their logistics specialist.
Don't make me blush, Master Jedi.
Here are the coordinates. Speeders are fueled up and ready to go. We'll be in position when you are.
What marvelous statuary, inspired by the Great Manifest period. Not that these thugs care. Must be a weakness. That's quite enough of that.
Okay, last building. Come on, everyone. Single file. Not too fast, not too slow either.
Get your hands off me, blasted Republic interlopers! I know my rights! I'm not going anywhere!
Well, I'll be a Wookiee's uncle. I knew we'd find your building sooner or later. It's Roop, isn't it?
Why? Gonna steal my identity too?
Roop and his family are old friends. They send the Protectors strongly worded holo messages before every Makeb evac. Seems the Hutts promised them bonus pay if they stayed inside. Roop here thinks we're trying to cheat him out of his credits.
You're not getting a bonus. Your idiot employers have drilled Makeb into an early grave.
Everyone knows the groundquakes are entirely natural, have been for months.
That doesn't even make any Fine. They're natural. A building is still no place to be during one.
The rest of you can cut and run if you like. But me and mine are staying right here. It's quadruple overtime, people!
Need you outside, sir. One of the speeders blew a hoverpad on the way back.
Talk him down, will you? Or bribe him. We're good for it. Meet you back at base.
You show me an order from Vice Commandant Grevin, my foreman, or Taboro himself. Otherwise, I'm not moving.
There's no more time to argue about this. What will it take to make you leave this building?
I want my bonus. Unless you raided the Hutt treasury, I know you don't have it.
The Republic will compensate you for your lost bonus pay, whatever percentage you want.
All right, how about a little now to prove it? Wow, you weren't kidding. Doesn't matter to me where the creds come from. Point me towards the exit.
Business before pleasure, I suppose. Extremely bad, barely covers it. Some exercise. heard of us. That's quite enough of that.
Those turrets.
Just one moment, Jedi. Distractions are the bane of genius, you know. Jedi, for once, could we please go somewhere pleasant? Some exercise.
That passcode will open the embassy's main doors. security droids. The Hutt Embassy's all yours. Mind your step in there.
That's quite enough of that. Some exercise.
Acknowledging to ident code. Greetings, Senior Command Unit 223.
You're a credit to your security programming. I'll be sure to put in a commendation.
Acknowledged. Feel free to inspect the embassy. You will find everything in order.
Maybe you haven't heard of us. That's quite enough of that. So much to attend to. Just as I programmed.
Wait, please. I'm an unarmed civilian. Representative Ecklin with the McKeb Provisional Authority Council. I'm the official liaison to the Hutt Cartel. Whatever you need, I'll make sure you get it. Just don't hurt me.
I'm working with Shalim Avesta. He sent me to get information on the Hutt Cartel's plans.
And he thought the best way to do it was to attack their embassy? Typical. Like it or not, the Hutts control McKeb now. Our only option is to cooperate, make the best of our new situation. Instead, Shalim stirs up trouble. He doesn't realize how much worse the Hutts could make things for us.
The Hutts aren't here to rule McKeb. They're here to destroy it. Their deep drilling has destabilized the planetary core.
Why would they do that? McKeb is an investment for them. If they destroy the planet, they lose their assets. Besides, most of the Hutts are here on the surface. If the planet explodes, they go with it. It's illogical.
The Hutts have something called Project Failsafe, but they'll push this planet to the brink of destruction before using it.
Say I believed you. Wouldn't I want definite proof before risking my life to stop them? If this Project Failsafe exists, there must be some record of it in the Embassy's archives. I'll get you access to them. But the Hutts are on high alert. They've already summoned reinforcements. You'll have to deal with them. I'll meet you in the archive room.
You're a Hutt conspirator. I'm not letting you out of my sight.
You're marked for death. I am not. If I die because I'm standing next to you when the shooting starts, you can't access the archives. And if Shalim's right, McKeb will be truly doomed. I don't think you want that on your conscience. You worry about those reinforcements. I'll make sure we can access the Hutt archives. Good luck.
That's quite enough of that. Quite enough of that.
Security protocols have been disabled. Ecklin came through.
Almost. I ran when I heard the fighting. Let me finish this. The Hutt in charge of McKeb is named Taboro. If Project Failsafe exists, there should be some reference to it in his communication logs.
I assume you've met Taboro. What's your take on him?
He isn't your typical Hutt. Quick profits matter less to him than long-term gains. Here, a holo from someone named Vidrig has a Project Failsafe tag. Let's hear what it says.
Greetings, O great and glorious Taboro. I'm happy to report that Project Failsafe is both on schedule and under budget. Your Grand Arc is approaching completion.
Ever met this Vidrig before? He sounds like a used speeder salesman.
I've heard the name once, but this is the first I've seen of him. Hideous fellow.
As these schematics illustrate, the Ark's ingenious outer layer will completely shield the vessel and its precious contents from McKeb's atmospheric unpleasantness. The cargo hold will store your entire Isotope 5 stockpile, while your chosen few companions travel in luxurious comfort on the Ark's upper decks.
The Hutts don't have a way to save McKeb from breaking apart. They're just planning to leave the planet before that happens. You're on your own.
They'll abandon us? Leave everyone to die? That's monstrous.
Mighty Taboro, may I suggest replacing the standard passenger cabins with deluxe suites more suited to a Hutt of your stature? I can easily add them before the Ark's completion.
This holo is recent. Vidrig is still building the Ark. That means there's time to steal it for ourselves and evacuate the planet. Based on the schematics, we'll have room for the whole population if we convert the cargo hold to carry passengers.
There are only so many places the Hutts could hide such a massive project. We have to find it.
Evacuating this planet will require someone with resources and contacts. Shalim Avesta has both.
I'll scour these archives and transmit everything I find to Shalim. Given the circumstances, I feel rather unsafe remaining here. There's a shuttle pad nearby. If you remove the guards and unlock the shuttles, we could all fly away safely.